Before she became a reality TV star known as the Gator Queen, Liz Cavalier was just a girl from the Louisiana swamps. She grew up surrounded by water, mud, and tall cypress trees. Her dad and mom, CJ and Ella Dupree, weren't ordinary people. They were seasoned alligator hunters who knew the swamp as well as they knew their own hands. Liz spent most of her childhood with her siblings Donald, Darren, Joe, and Diane, learning that life out here was tough. It was not about comfort. It was about grit, family, and knowing the land and water that shaped everything. Her father, CJ, started her early on with the swamp's most famous resident, the alligator. She tagged along on hunting trips to places like Morgan City and Hummer. She watched, learned, and slowly started doing things herself. She learned how to shoot a rifle, track animals, and respect the dangers around her. At home, her mother, Ella, kept their home warm with the smells of Cajun cooking. Liz learned how to make gumbo, jambalaya, shrimp, achifet, and fried frog legs. Cooking was more than just feeding the family. It was a link to their roots and history. By age 12, Liz wasn't just watching the hunts. She was right in the thick of things. She even had a pet alligator named Charlie Pie. He wasn't small. He stretched over 7 feet. Charlie Pie liked to waddle up to her when she called his name. She would feed him crackers and bread from her hand without a second thought. No one expected her to keep such a secret, but she did. When her father found out, he knew the swamp's rules. He understood the risks, just like everyone else who grew up there. He was after the gator. For Liz, that moment hit hard. She felt crushed, full of heartbreak and anger. Over time, she began to see things differently. Living in the bayou means knowing the line between wild and tame is very thin. It's one of life's harsh truths here. But the swamp alone didn't shape Liz's story. In the early 1990s, she was married to Jimmy Cavalier. The details of their relationship and their breakup are private, but it's clear this part of her life mattered. In June 1993, they had a daughter, Jessica Lynn Cavalier. From a young age, Jessica was brought up in her mother's world. Growing up in the Louisiana swamp, she learned alligator hunting side by side with Liz. As she got older, it was obvious she wasn't just copying her mother. Jessica was creating her own spot in the family's hunting tradition. In 2010, Liz married Justin Hote. But their story started before they tied the knot. In 2008, in the wild Louisiana backcountry, they built their bond. It wasn't in fancy restaurants or romantic dates, but in duck blinds and deer stands, eh? They spent long days catching wild game together. After getting married, they made their home on Freshwater City Road near Pan Island in Vermilion Parish. Liz became stepmother to Justin's 2 boys, Demon and Destin. Their family loved the outdoors. Liz called their land and the nearby waters their grocery store. Wild hogs, rabbits, squirrels, and deer made sure they had everything they needed. Like Liz's own childhood, the boys learned to fish and hunt early. They even had their own boat, with Destin proud to be the captain. They checked their crab cages, learned the tide's flow, and helped out around the land. Liz trusted them on the water because Justin had drilled safety into them before every trip. Throughout her marriage, Liz said her bond with Justin was strong. She often called him her rock, her steady support. Over time, they became more than just husband and wife. They truly worked as a team. Then came a moment that changed everything. Swamp People began in August 2010 and quickly drew viewers in. Each team on the show usually had 2 or 3 people. Someone to pull in the line, someone to handle the gun, and often the captain navigating through the dense cypress and water lilies. When the second season arrived, one well-known face, Troy Landry, the swamp's king, was short on hands, acting as the shooter. That year, he had tagged 320 gators and quickly needed backup. The search led the crew straight to Pier Park, Troy's hometown. They weren't just looking for more help. They wanted someone special, someone who could leave a mark in history. Rumors pointed to one name, Liz Cavalier. Liz grew up near the water, learning to hunt and fish from her father on nearly 3,000 acres close to Hummer. She wasn't interested in fame or cameras. She admitted interviews made her more nervous than any swamp encounter. But when she agreed to talk to the producers, it didn't take long for them to see her potential. Liz wasn't just a good match. For swamp people, she was something rare. She wasn't just joining the show. She was about to become one of its most memorable figures. When Swamp People started its second season in 2011, Liz made her first appearance with Troy Landry, stepping in as his sharpshooter. For 3 weeks, they worked 8 hours a day deep in Louisiana's harsh swamps, chasing gators and dealing with whatever nature threw at them. Even when things got tense, which happened often, Liz stayed calm. She stayed focused and seemed right at home in the chaos. It looked like she was born for the swamp. She first appeared in episode 4, titled First Mates. From the start, she fit right in. She quickly showed her skill, helping Troy fill tags faster even when the swamp was unpredictable. By episode 5, her steady aim earned Troy's respect. The season wasn't without problems. During dark waters, she was injured while handling a gator. But she recovered quickly and was back in action for Rising Suns. By episode 10, Liz was finding her groove. She wasn't just following plans, she was making them. Her confidence grew and her voice became stronger. By season's end, Liz had proven she could hang in a world that was mostly men. She stood out as Troy's main partner. Fans loved her and she earned the nickname Gator Queen. Troy was good at spotting gators, often finding them out of nowhere. Liz was the one who took the shot, closing in on the gator as soon as it surfaced. Her skill wasn't the only thing that set her apart. She represented something special. She showed viewers a rare look at swamp life. It was about the tough work, the heritage, and the quiet strength of a woman thriving in a rough world. By season 3, Liz was no longer just riding along. She was leading her own team on Pan Island. Her goal was personal, to honor her father's alligator hunting legacy and carry it on. She teamed up with Christy Browsard, a Navy vet and ranch owner whom Liz took under her wing. Together, they faced some of the swamp's hardest terrain, including Monster Marsh, where Liz had almost lost her life years before. In episode 2, No Guts, No Gator, Liz and Troy took on a risky challenge, tracking a fierce gator on land with no boat or backup. It was pure risk and tough grit. Later that season, Liz hunted a gator called Tedder, known for being nearly bulletproof. It was a hunt that pushed her to her limits. One moment she'd never forget was when Liz and Christy thought they saw a dead gator floating in the water. As Liz pulled the creature onto the boat, it suddenly moved. It was a 700-pound beast thrashing wildly, and Liz held on tight. Christy yelled warnings, worried the gator might jump into the boat. Finally, Liz shot it and ended the fight. But the surprises kept coming. Once they got the gator in the boat, they saw that one of its legs was gone. It had probably been bitten off by a bigger gator. Liz looked at it and said what everyone was thinking. He ripped his whole leg off. Season 3 was a turning point for Liz. She was no longer just Troy's sharpshooter. She became her own leader, confidence, grit, and deep swamp knowledge. She guided her crew. She mentored newcomers, like Christy, and faced some of the biggest gators in the bayou. When Christy couldn't join her for the season, Liz didn't have to look far for a replacement. Starting in season 4, her daughter Jessica came along on the hunts. It showed that strength and skill run deep in the Cavalier family. One of the best moments was in the episode called Breaking Point. The day was filled with mistakes. Broken equipment, bad luck, and frustration. But they also had breakthroughs. Liz teamed up with Glenn Gist, part of the famous Gist brothers, for a short but memorable partnership. By season 5, Liz and Jessica, now called the Cavaliers, had a clear goal. They set their sights on the legendary monster of Monster Marsh. The gator was so big, was named long before they saw it. Once they had it on the line, its massive size was clear. Reeling it in was faster than expected. The real challenge was getting the 900-pound creature into the boat without a winch. Still, they managed to do it. The 13.5-foot alligator turned out to be the biggest catch of the season. 4. Liz, hunting alligators isn't just a job. It's a way to keep her family's traditions alive. She learned it from swamp people and is passing the knowledge to Jessica. Jessica knows it's tough to wrangle such large gators, but she's eager to earn her spot. She also feels it's her duty to continue her mother's way of life. To outsiders, their lifestyle might seem harsh, but for the Cavaliers, it's about respect for the land, animals, and their heritage. Liz often says swamp people isn't about fame. It's about showing real, raw life in the swamp. With its popularity, the show drew criticism. Some viewers accused it of encouraging animal cruelty. Actor Dominic Monaghan spoke out, claiming the show was unfair to reptiles like alligators. Animal rights groups fought to shut it down. Liz stayed firm in her beliefs. She explained that alligator hunting is not only tradition, but also key to controlling the gator population. Without hunting, gators could take over the swamps and end up in neighborhoods, putting pets and people at risk. She stressed that every hunt respects the animal and the environment. Nothing is wasted, and hunters take only what's needed. Behind the scenes, things were starting to change. After the 6th season, the cast faced a major shakeup. One of the most surprising exits was Liz Cavalier. She wasn't alone. The production company, Original Media, decided to part ways with many longtime cast members, including fan favorite Junior Edwards. The changes came after new management took over and brought a fresh vision for the show. For reality TV fans, this wasn't a big surprise. New faces often bring new stories. Still, longtime fans felt the loss. Many had grown. Attached to the original hunters, Liz, also called the Gator Queen, was one of the show's most recognizable figures. While most cast members just went back to life in the swamp, Liz wasn't ready to step away quietly. She turned to Facebook to share her confusion and frustration. She made it clear she hadn't been told why she was cut from the show. It hurt. Her most wasn't just losing her spot. It was seeing fans lose out in her eyes. Her heartfelt post quickly sparked reactions, especially after she revealed that only Jeremy and David remained from the original cast. That post didn't sit well with the show's producers. Rumors spread that they asked her to delete it. Liz refused to be silenced. She went live on Facebook, stood her ground, and reiterated everything she had written. She wanted everyone to know she wouldn't be bullied into silence. She spoke openly, proud of her Louisiana roots and the values she carried from her family. Liz said her purpose wasn't just for business. It was about her family, her heritage, and her community. She didn't hold back in the comments either. She let her frustration show. She also took a moment to thank her supporters. For her, the journey was about honoring what her parents taught her and sharing that way of life with others. Her husband Justin also joined the conversation online, invited fans to share their thoughts, and hinted that more than one company told them to stay quiet. The real reason for the cast changes stayed unclear. Rumors flew. Some said the hunters asked for more money. Others claimed issues involved trade shows, merchandise, or branding disagreements. Still, no one confirmed anything. Despite the controversy, Liz kept working. She continued hunting during Gator season. In 2015, she turned her love for Cajun culture into a new project, the Gator Queen Liz Cookbook. This wasn't just any cookbook. It was a 192-page tribute to her parents, full of 100 Cajun recipes and 75 full-color photos from the swamp. The book covered everything from duck and venison to crawfish, nutria, squirrel, and turtle. It gave readers a taste of real Louisiana flavors. She even included her mother Ella's favorite cracker pudding recipe. Liz often talked about how her mother was the heart of her cooking. That love came through on every page. Before she got famous on TV, Liz had worked as a cook at 2 Seafood and Steakhouse in Pier Park. 2015 wasn't just about food and hunting. Liz also shared a very personal story. Her daughter Jessica was struggling with substance abuse. Liz posted about Jessica reaching 101 days sober. It was a raw, honest moment. It showed her strength, not just as a hunter, but as a mother. Her openness touched many people. It gave hope to families facing similar battles. Later that year, Jessica had a big new chapter. In September, she gave birth to her daughter, Bella. Liz was overjoyed and burst with excitement. She flooded Facebook with happy updates, proud to share her new role as a grandma. The message received thousands of supportive comments. From that moment, Bella became a bright light in Liz's life. Liz often talks about how much joy her granddaughter gives her. She posts sweet messages for Bella's birthdays and shows how deep those family bonds run in the Cavalier family. That same year, Liz also mentioned opening her own Cajun restaurant. She asked her Facebook followers if they would like to dine at Gator Queen's on Pecan Island. The response was lively, proving her cooking and personality had earned a big fan base outside of Louisiana. In early 2016, Liz faced another personal challenge. Her husband Justin posted a picture of her smiling in a hospital bed, giving a thumbs up after knee surgery. It wasn't clear if she was hurt or just had a routine procedure, but she recovered quickly. She kept sharing updates, showing her spirit was strong. After nearly 6 years away from TV, Liz made a surprise comeback to swamp people in season 12. In 2021, this wasn't just a guest spot. She returned with a full story arc, appearing in 94 episodes total. She rejoined early in the season with the episode Sinjin Queen, jumping right back into the action. She helped control the Gator chaos and mentored her stepson Destin. Later in the season, in Darkest Fears, she faced tough conditions like flooded waters and fragile swamp bridges. She and Destin used old-school hunting tricks, proving that grit and experience still matter. Fans were excited to see her back. Her mix of toughness, skill, and genuine charm made her stand out again. But even with the applause, her return seemed short. It appeared she was only on for that one season. No official reason was ever given. Some guess it could have been due to contract limits or pay disagreements. Still, no clear explanation has ever come out. It remains just guesswork. Liz has not come back to the show and hasn't made any public plans for a return. Still, she stays active online, mainly on Facebook. There, she shares updates, throwback photos from past seasons, and connects with fans who have followed her for years. Every September, she's still out hunting, proving the outdoor life remains important to her. Her posts show she's proud of Louisiana swamp culture and passionate about it beyond TV. She's less active on Instagram, but her daughter Jessica's bio speaks volumes. It mentions gator, duck, hog, and deer hunting, along with being a mom and grandma. Shows their family's outdoor way of life is still going strong. It's never only been about alligators. Outside hunting, Liz keeps busy with creative projects. She makes decorative wreaths and birdhouses by hand. Fans love seeing the softer side of her, and her Facebook followers often leave comments. Many ask her to return to the show or simply say how much they miss her. It's clear why. Today, Liz lives on Pecan Island with her husband Justin Hote and his sons Destin and Diamond. She's faced her share of tough times, but now shows strength and courage. She's smiling, active, and still connected to the swamp. She just isn't on TV anymore. Newer cast members like Picklewheat and Ashley Jones may now hold the Gator Queen title. But longtime fans remember the truth. Liz was the original queen. Her legacy didn't come from TV fame. Was built through hard work, deep roots, and living a life right in the heart of the swamp.